Hello friends, today we will discuss about Azure Vision Studio and some features of Azure Vision Studio. Azure Vision Studio is a set of UI-based tools that lets you explore, build, and integrate features from Azure AI Vision. It also provides you with a platform to try several services features. Using Studio, you can start experimenting with the services and learning that they offer without needing to write any code. Product on shelves. AI services can be utilized to analyze photos of shelves in a retail store. The product recognition APIs let you detect the presence of products and get their bounding box coordinates. You can use it to combination with model customization to train a model to identify your specific products based on your need. There are good use cases that can be obtained like warehouse management, retail store, CVS, any kind of store that manages shelves and its products. Now, search photos with query, that is another AI service that Azure introduced in its Vision Studio. One of the feature is search photos with natural language, which allows you to find images that are similar to a text prompt or a reference image using multimodal embedding. We'll go very deep into that details on our hands-on lab, and we'll also share API implementation through the Postman and how we can build the LLM model. Let's go deep into that Azure portal. So this is Azure AI services. I would highly recommend to watch that. So where I explored all the services within the Azure AI services. So today we'll talk about mainly computer vision. So there are two ways we can go into Computer Vision Studio. One is you can directly go ahead and create computer vision service from here. I have one service for the testing. Or you can directly go to Azure multi-service account. So within that, you can create one account and you can utilize that for multi-services, including computer vision. So let's go to the Computer Vision Studio. If you go to this resource, you can get a direct link, go to Vision Studio, so you can directly go there. So once you log in, you can see there are several services are listed there. Now let's talk about some key features on that. So today we'll talk about mainly two services and then we'll go deep into the other services in our next video. So let's start with the shelves. The product recognition APIs let you analyze photos of shelves in a retail store. You can detect the presence of products and get their boundary box coordinates. We can use any of the sample images that they have provided. Let's try with this one first. So there are different models that you can see. This is a pre-built product versus gap model. So it can understand where the gap is and where exactly the products are there. Say this is gap, this is gap. There is a little trained model. We can also see some of the products are there. So if you see here, these products are already listed. So if you go if you mouse over of these products, you can see all the details of this. So to find out, I downloaded a few images. Let's try to test with those. Let me go back to the pre-built model and I can browse. So I downloaded this one. This is one sample picture that I got from internet for the warehouse. So you can see there are lots of products that it identified. And if we can see, there is a gap. So this model is showing how many boxes are there, or how many products are there, and if there is any gap in the shelf. So any kind of a warehouse program that we can utilize this to monitor or count how many boxes are there or how many products are there. So we can do kind of inventory out of this model. I also downloaded one more picture just to showcase. This is a retail store. So this is not really a great shelf, I would say, but I can see there are few fruits are there. At least if you mouse over these products, you can see how many products are there. And then in a custom trained model, we can determine which fruit it is and how it is, if there is any gap. To do that, we can go to the train model. So it will take you to another page where you can bring your own data set, and then you can bring your custom model, or you can train your model through this portal. So that is another really, really good features. Now, there is another part of these APIs, that is planogram matching. So with the product understanding API, we can upload a self image and get the location of products and gaps, and also compare product recognition result to your stored planogram document. So this is, let's see this one, then it can give all the details about the. Let's go back to the another service of the computer vision. Okay, so this is another cool features that gives you flexibility to search images based on your query. So let's try with some of the sample images. So say for example, if I say dew drops on a plant, so it will give you some images which has the same kind of attributes. Let's try the other one, cactus in the desert. And you can change the relevant, and based on that, it will give you more results. So for try purpose, you can add your own images and you can also try. Let's try to use our own images. So let me open up. I have some images here. Let me go to the actual container so I can see the Indian food. So here you can see a little preview. So at this point, I'm trying to bring some of the Indian food dishes. Studio to read and write. Let's see. Okay. So now it's processing. So there is a limit of 300 photos at this point because it's a preview. Now there is another process. So if you like to use this API, so there is an early access. So you can just click here and it will take you to a Microsoft form. So you need to fill it up and make sure that the email ID you put that's related to some company and organization. And if you choose less than 50K images, or if you have more than 50K, so you can choose that and you submit. So you'll get full access if you have more than 300 images. Now, if you have more than 300 images and you don't like to use this API, there is another way I will showcase in details in a minute. Now, I just uploaded this, so let's go ahead and click here. So you can see all these images that I have uploaded. Now, in India, we call it Modak. So let me try to find out. This is more of the triangular shaped suite. So if I search shape suite, and you can see it, if I reduce the relevant, you might not see others. So these are kind of, maybe I can try triangular shape, white suite, and probably you will all get a jalebi. That is another suite that came up last time. So this is how relevant it is. So if you are part of any kind of a manufacturing industry and you wanted to search your parts, your equipment, tools, or anything like screw, nuts, you can utilize this easily. So let's talk about the limitations, because as I said, right, it can have only 300 and this is on preview. So what we can do, we can come here, we can utilize the SDK. So within the SDK, you can see an endpoint and you can see which region and which key that been generated here. You can utilize that. And if you go to the Postman, how it works. So in Postman, you need to pass all these keys here, and in the body you can send one image. So at this point, this is one of the presentation image, test image from Microsoft. If I send it, what it does, it goes to a multi-model embedded APIs and comes back with the vector. So each image, say for example, if you have 500 or 1K images, so each image will have a vector. So this is more of the features, the extracted features of that image. So you'll get as a vector. Now, the similar way, if you have more than 1K images, so you have to get more than 1K vectors for each image. And you will store it somewhere. Like it should have a mapping between your image and your vector. Now, say for example, the query that I just searched here. this one, like triangular shaped white suite. So what you can do, there is another method in the same way that you can see it's a vectorized image. There is another option that you can do vectorized text. And in the vectorized text, in the body, you can search anything. So say for example, if I search the same query, then I will get another vector. So this is the vector that I got from the same multimodal embedded APIs. So what I need to do, I need to find, as a next step, I need to find the nearest vector. So we can utilize equidir, or we can utilize the cosine to do that. So we can utilize this vector and that vector to figure it out the distance. Now, if we wanted to show like top 10, like very similar way here, how they're showing it, maybe we wanted to showcase only these top 10. So from the distance, we can pull only top 10 and show it to the customer. So that is how we can utilize those APIs without utilizing this UI. So definitely you can go ahead and apply for the UI. Once you get the approval, you can also utilize this API. But there is another way that I just showed. So if any number of images that you can utilize with this API call. Thank you for watching today. Next day, we'll bring more Vision Studio and we'll bring speech as well. Azure launched a very good comprehensive studio for the speeches. So you can create your own speech, or there are many voices are there. We can utilize those voices in a chat bot. So we'll implement that in our next video. Thank you.